God. Oh my God, this is beautiful. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, life is beautiful. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, this is beautiful. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh my God, life is beautiful. Life is beautiful. Oh my God, life is beautiful. Oh my God, life is beautiful. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Oh, wow. All right, beloveds. Good morning. It's a great day to be alive, isn't it? It's the best day ever, in fact. So the month of July has been all about speaking truth to circumstance. And the talk for today is called, the topic is Standing on Shiva. Now, I know, right? Interesting. And so this sentence or this quote from the Gospel of Thomas will help you understand this piece, which is, when we find the truth, we will be troubled. Then, being troubled, we will be amazed and rule over the entirety. All right, so this week we remember to stand in truth as Shiva did by throwing himself under the blood-crazed Kali to bring her back to her center. Now, in Hindu mythology, there is a story of a battle taking place between the gods and the demons were winning, and the gods turned to Durga, who is known as the goddess of compassion and mothering. They turned to her to do something. And so out of Durga's forehead sprang this fierce warrior, Brian, goddess Kali. Now, Kali proceeded to destroy the demons, but in her frenzy, she then began killing anyone that was in her way. And Shiva, the destroyer of illusion, threw himself under her feet, allowing her to come to herself and get anchored in truth and centered and stop that mindless killing. And she was definitely grounded in the truth, right? So when we go to war, so to speak, with our conditions, sometimes we can get lost in that battle, forgetting our real purpose. Can anyone relate to that? Right? We can totally forget, we forget who we are and we're just in it. And so the point of today and the point of standing on Shiva is to ground yourself in truth and bring yourself back to remembering the truth. Come back to center, because grounding is essential. Now, how many of you have ever flown off the handle and then a couple minutes later thought, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, why did I do that? Right? And then it's like, so this is all about us getting a tool to use, okay? Or tools, right? You come here, you learn these spiritual tools. Now, last Sunday, after the talk, somebody came up to me and said, and I saw this person as I was speaking. She had this look, and it was like a defeated look or a sad look. And she said to me, she heard what I was saying, and she wasn't there yet. And it was like, yeah, amen. Sometimes I'm not there yet. Like, this talk is for me too. So sometimes we're not there yet, but this is about us learning the tools and having these tools in our spiritual tool belt that we can access and bring up to use, right? Now, a lot of the learnings occur in moments such as that I just shared. Why did I just blow up like that? What was that about, And using these tools that we're learning to actually prevent us from doing that, to allow us to pause and be in the moment and be able to respond and not react. And now, I'm not perfect. You can ask my husband. Right? There are many times that there is just an instant reaction. And now this week it occurred to me that the thing that really causes that is when we're tired or when we're stressed. Remember last week, I'm tired. Or when we're feeling a little bit sleepy, okay? A little sleep deprived or a little bit stressed, or we feel like we're pushing our limits, then we get more into this mode of reaction. And so it's up to us to pull back, right? To take the backward step and, maybe take a nap, take a time out, have some Kool-Aid, some iced tea, whatever. Just relax and be still and know, so that you can remember who you are, so that you can remember who you came here to be. And it's okay when we fall down, because what we're doing is learning. This is an ongoing process, This is an ongoing process. Just like when you go to a yoga class, you're not going to go right into the most advanced move right out of the gate. You might hurt yourself, right? It's a process. You practice the pose. In the hot yoga class, it was just about staying in the room, in the heat, and not leaving the room was the first class, and the second and third class. And then you can start practicing the different poses, and you see all the people around you getting into the pose deeper, and it's not about comparing yourself, but recognizing that this is where I am right now, and I'm going to stay in this room. Anyway, it's a practice, right? It's a practice until we perfect it, until we make it permanent, because practice does make permanent. And so using these tools that are in our tool belt allow us to create this permanence, which is then we move to the next level. It's like a video game, right? There's always a new level and a new power-up and a new a new way to move through the world. So that's what we're up to. Now, as most of you know, I have a day job, and that day job is in information technology. I shorten it to IT. Travis says he can't even spell IT.
That's true.
Get it? No laughter, right? IT? Okay, all right. So sometimes, thank you. Sometimes the IT department has to work inside computers and laptops, and we have to open them up and either remove pieces or take it out and put it back. It's called reseating, or we need to replace a component entirely. We have to order something new and then get in there with a little tiny screwdriver, the ones with the magnet on the end in case the screw gets lost, Yeah. It's a thing, right? But before we get in there, we put this wristband on. I was searching at home. I thought for sure I had one, but I didn't, so you could actually see it. But it's a wristband, and then there's a little coil, and on the end of the coil, there's a metal clip. And you take that metal clip, and you hook it onto something metal. It's called grounding, right? So we do grounding, and then once I am grounded, then I open up that laptop or computer chassis, and I can start touching things. And why would I have to do that? So that I don't blow up the whole thing. So I don't, like the static electricity that's coming from me doesn't destroy the other components, like Callie, right? Right? Callie's like, just gonna get it all. So similar to her standing on Shiva to ground herself and do the work of the Most High, which is the higher consciousness work, yes? Speaking truth to circumstance is certainly higher consciousness work now. This is speaking truth to the lies that we have been told. So I've shared this story with you all about my entrance panel to interview for ministerial school, and I'm going to share it again because it's so powerful and speaks so highly and really is a great illustration of what I'm speaking about today, and that is that I went into my panel fresh out of practitioner studies. I think it was the same day that I had my oral panel to be licensed as a spiritual practitioner. And so we had the celebration, and it was totally awesome, and we were so loved up, and I was in the zone, right? I was feeling high, like in the clouds, spiritually high. I felt divine. I felt like something really important had happened. And then I went into this panel, and there were 3 other ministers. So in order to get into ministerial school, you go and meet with the ministers, and they are interviewing you, right? And interviewing you to see if your consciousness is at a level that you're ready for ministerial school. And I was like, what does that mean, you know? So it felt like as soon as I walked in the door, they're like feeling me up in consciousness, right? And I'm like, right out of the gate. I feel this feels weird. I don't like it. I feel judgment, you know? Thank you for understanding. Just feeling judged and yucky already. And so I sit down and you know, we're talking and they're asking me questions and I'm giving real short answers like I'm uncomfortable with these people. It felt weird for me, right? But I know who I am. And so anyway, I leave and then the dean, you know, he calls me into his office, the dean of the ministerial school at the time, and he says, well, according to those ministers, they say you're not ready for ministerial school. I know, right? And I'm like, what? And he goes, I know. He said, how do you feel? I said, I'm ready. I'm totally ready. And I was. I just didn't like those 3 people. It felt weird. It was a weird, like, they're not going to decide if I have the consciousness. They're not going to decide what my God calling is, in other words, right? Who are they to say what I'm ready for? They have no idea. You know, they have no idea what I've been through to get to this place. They have no idea what the calling of God is and my fighting it. You know, it's not all roses and rainbows and sunshine, right? There was a lot of work leading up to that moment. And so the dean, you know, he said, all right, do you want to do this? I said, yeah. He said, okay, great, let's do it. And so I got into ministerial school. I know, right? And it was intense. It was intense, but I was ready for it. So the point in that is it felt like in that moment I crossed a threshold. Like I knew the truth regardless of circumstances, regardless of what external conditions were displaying, regardless of what was happening on the outside and what people were telling me. I knew the truth. I was standing on Shiva. I knew it. And I moved through that with that consciousness. And now here I am today, right? Yeah. It's amazing, isn't it? So now I get that this is not always easy to do, you guys. I mean, in that moment, had I not been centered and anchored in truth and in that awareness, I might have said, oh, I guess I'm not ready, or accepted what they told me, right? Now, this is a tool for you to use when you're at the doctor's office, right? If you hear a diagnosis, if you hear something about your family, if you hear something, that you don't want to hear in your relationships, from your kids, or things about your grandkids, it's up to us. I'm getting the God bumps because it's so true, to know the truth. We are called to stand on Shiva in those moments. And yes, sometimes it's not easy. And yeah, you're not there yet because you maybe haven't been faced with something like that. But when you do, you're going to come to that place within you that is the truth. And you will be able to stand on Shiva because you know this truth. And this is the truth that sets you free. Are you with me? Yeah. Amen, yeah? All right. So this can take practice, and it can take time to learn and remember. And so we learn all these tools, and then we've got this whole tool belt full of things, and then we're walking through our lives, and, it's like, oh, which one is it? Practice, 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 practice. We've got to practice this in our lives, because if we're not seeing the results of what we're learning here on Sundays, what we're learning in classes, what we're reading about, all of this, if we're not seeing actual results in our life, then we need to question what we're doing. Like, what are we actually doing? You know? So a spell of illusion can sometimes drive us a little bit batty. Can anyone relate? Illusions, right? Like we get caught up in this illusion and then the mind says it's true and then we go down this whole rabbit hole and create this whole way of living around this thing, which I've shared many of my own stories about that. And then, and it pulls us out of the truth until suddenly we realize that whole thing wasn't true. So what if instead of having to go through all of that, you were able to make the choice today to stand in the truth, to not let the illusions, to not let the so-called demons pull you out of who you know you are. Can you do that? Are you up for that? I see some smiles and some lights coming on that, oh, is that possible? Yes, it's possible. Turn to someone next to you and say, it's possible. It's possible. It's possible. And now say, it's happening now. It's happening now. Yeah. So friends, as we remember our 10 spiritual principles, I'm going to run through these real quick because I don't think we talk about these often enough. And so we have 10 spiritual principles that we can adhere to and remember. And the first being oneness. There is one infinite reality. We call it many names, including but not limited to God, life, universal spirit, infinite intelligence, first cause or the thing itself, and many more, right? And so this one infinite reality is undivided. It is complete and whole within itself. This oneness creates everything out of itself and therefore includes both the absolute and relative, tangible and intangible, physical and metaphysical aspects of reality. It's everything, yes? Woo, that's a mouthful, huh? And then number 2 is love. Now, love is the self-givingness of the universal spirit through its desire to express itself in terms of creation. Love is the impulse, and law is the way of creation. And so we all have this love within us, and love is our guiding light. And then we begin to think about it, pray about it, and move through the world with it, and it begins to create because that's the law, right? What you think about, you bring about. And so then the third is creation. The physical universe is the manifest body of the one infinite reality, and the one infinite reality is more than the physical universe. So it's everything that you see and more. Creation is an expression of the one infinite reality. It is inherently good and is ever evolving toward a greater expression of good. Fourth is the triune nature of God. We believe that there is spirit, law, and body. The one infinite reality expresses itself in those 3 aspects: spirit, law, body. Each individual is made in the image and likeness of the one infinite reality and has the same 3 aspects. So within us, right, we each have spirit, law, and body within us. You with me? Yeah. Number 5 is the creative process. So the one infinite reality operates through the universal law of cause and effect. The universal law is impersonal, automatic, and intelligent. And the universal law receives the direct impress of Spirit's impulse and acts upon it, bringing it into form. Individuals having the same threefold nature use this creative process to shape our human experience in alignment with the whole, perfect, and complete reality. Woo! Then we've got spiritual laws. This is number 6. Universal spirit maintains harmony, equilibrium, and balance. Through spiritual law, there are various expressions and uses of spiritual law. For example, the law of correspondence, the law of attraction, the law of giving and receiving. Spiritual laws are impersonal, consistent, and intelligent, and are always operating, whether we're aware of them or not. So consciously, individuals can learn to use these laws to create or change conditions. Woo! Spiritual beings. The one infinite reality is both transcendent and immanent. Individual human beings are spiritual beings living in a spiritual universe and having a human experience. This is our true nature. We should all have the homework assignment of memorizing these, right? Wow, that was a spirit download right there. So the 8th is freedom. Freedom is the birthright of every individual. We are free to choose and create our experience of life. That's right. Number 9 is heaven. Heaven is the state of awareness of our true nature. It's a state of awareness, you guys. We experience our true nature to the degree that we become conscious of it. We actively seek to know the true nature of every individual and celebrate each individual's unique expression of it. This experience of our true nature is sure to be attained by all. Namaste. Right? That's what's happening when you're saying namaste to your friends and loved ones. All right, lastly is eternal life. The one infinite reality is eternal. We believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual forever and ever expanding. That's what we're up to. We are forever and ever expanding. I heard that dog out there. So is the dog. So as we remember these 10 principles, and I have a feeling Susan's going to send those out in our e-news tomorrow or Tuesday so that we can all have them. Yeah! Yay, Susan! So that we can have those and begin to speak those into existence, right? And so that's another thing that you can have as a part of your toolbox. You write each one, have one on an index card. And you have these index cards that you can pull up and look at. And, if you're feeling a certain way, look at this card and it will rearrange you. That's what it does. That's what the truth does. It rearranges us, right? Wow, isn't that a trip? Like we can come from this ego space and get into the space of truth. It's just recalibration, you guys. We get it recalibrated, and then it's like everything is new. Behold, I make all things new. Have you heard that one before? Right? Yes. So we remember these. Then we can wake up from the illusion. Then we can wake up from our drama and stop killing off the things that we wanted to save in the first place, right? So practices like meditation, spiritual mind treatment, and self-awareness, especially working with a practitioner or a minister, help us stay centered as we deal with our lives. Our community members, people you've taken classes with, each other, lean on each other. That's what we're here for. We're here for each other. So without that strong spiritual practice, we can get caught up in the latest cause for alarm and call for extreme action. Anyone ever taken extreme action? And then you went, oh my God, why'd I do that? So I'm writing another song for you, Jamie. The extended version. So inspiring. Thank you. There are always new stories that are blaring outrage, that are trying to get our attention, But if we were to take that time to stand on Shiva, to stand in truth, we can see past all of the frenzy. We can see past all of the illusions and the thunder and the lightning, and see to the essence of the situation. And what I've noticed is the essence is always love, And if the ego can just quiet down, it's like that snow globe again. It's like, rah, rah, rah. And all the little pieces of snow, you shake it up and the snow is just everywhere. You can't even see the little city in the dome. That's beautiful, right? It's like the Emerald City. But just let it relax, and it calms down and calms down and calms down. It's just like our ego, right? When we let all of that just stop, it's not real. It's not real. And become aware that what is real is love. This love that is what I want to experience. And it's the same love that I know you want to experience, even if you can't speak that aloud right now. Yeah? Yes, amen. So I got a new car, or we got a new car. Yes, thank you. Travis and I got a new car. When was that? Friday? Yeah, Friday night. And wow, Oh, wow, yeah. And so firstly, we're going to have a car blessing. So it's customary in this community, in this teaching, to have a blessing for, like, if you get a new car, you can have a car blessing. If you get a new home, you'll have a home blessing. It's not just for babies anymore, right? There's baby blessings, car blessings, office blessings, new guitar blessings, anything you can think of, right? You can have a blessing for. And so the car blessing, we're going to open up all the doors and invite everyone to go out after the service. And if you have coins or bills, you can, bills preferred, not like debt bills, but, money. You're going to take some money, whatever change you have. And what? No checks. No checks. I have a coin purse over here with coins if you're a person who doesn't bring anything like that with you, or if you just want to participate, you can use the coins in my little coin bag here. It's very cute. And so you'll take a coin and place it anywhere in the car, and while you're doing so, bless it, bless the journey, bless all of the travels that Travis and I will do in this vehicle, the music that's played and whatever we're listening to on the radio. Use your imagination to bless Travis driving, bless me driving over the grade, all of that. And so that's going to be a beautiful thing for you guys. But I want to share about what happens when you get a new car. Has anybody purchased a new car recently? Okay, one person. But you've all purchased a new car in your life, right? Yeah, okay. And so when you get a new car, something happens, Everything is new. And there's a sense of, what does this thing do? What does that thing do? What is this? What is that? And so we got a Tesla, and we handled all of the paperwork through the app on our phones. That was new. And then there were people there that were just, what's that? Exactly. And we were talking about, it's basically like we're driving a computer. Yeah, we're driving a computer. How perfect is that for me, Yeah. It's so fun, but I've noticed so much so far, and it's really created a heightened awareness for me. And there have been so many different things that I've noticed. One is, like, Travis has usually done all of the driving for us. And it was like, do I remember how to drive? And then another one is, we can get so stuck in our routines, and we're so stuck in our routines, we get up in the morning, we do this, that we just kind of go unconscious, And so having a new car has created like a hyper awareness in me. And I'm like seeing things I didn't see before. And I'm suddenly more aware than I was before of what's going on all around me and all around this car. And there's all these things. There's a screen, and there's like this whole map, and there's just so much going on. And I could see all these different things. And we drove at night last night, and it was automatically turning on the high beams and then automatically turning it off when a car came. And it's like, how does it know this stuff? Anyway, I was fascinated by all of it, and I'm just beginning, right? We've had it for 2 days. So the point I want to make with this is that we get caught up in our routines, don't we? And we go unconscious, and we can get stuck. So we would do well to try something new, to try something a little bit different. Now, maybe it's as simple as taking a different route to work or to the grocery store or to the library, or maybe it's changing the sound of your alarm clock. I've had the same alarm clock sound for at least 10 years, it seems like, right? Since we first met, yeah, it's the Krishna Das song. It's a good song, but I've gone unconscious to it. It's time for something new. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to use that one. Thank you. So taking a different route, putting your socks and shoes on in different order. How many of you actually know which one you put on first, left or right? Left? Okay. So what if you were to try, starting tomorrow, putting on the right first? Oh my God, oh my God. Try switching. If you are one who brushes your teeth on the top first, start on the bottom or vice versa, right? You get the point. And then I want to share something that I learned in my integrative NLP coaching that I did with David Bruner. And that was a saying in the Hawaiian culture. There's a saying that goes like this, Amama Ua Noa. And Amama Ua Noa means the taboo is lifted. And so it's frequently used at the end of a prayer in the Hawaiian culture in connection with the word Noa, meaning free. So when you feel stuck, Amama Ua Noa, right? I think for me, when I do that, now it takes me into that space of truth where I am standing on Shiva, Amama Ua Noa. It's like that becomes the trigger for me to step out of ego and step into who I know myself to be. Powerful, brilliant, amazing, wonderful, if I do say so myself, loving. This brilliant, beautiful expression of the divine, which is who you are. Who you are. You're amazing. You're awesome. You are divine. You are the God in form. So when we feel stuck, we can say these words, Amama Ua Noa. Imagine ourselves standing on Shiva, remembering, I am free. You are free. Oh, it feels good to say. Repeat after me. I am free. I am free. I am free. Everybody stand up and repeat after me. I am free. I am free. I am free. Now turn to the person next to you and say, you are free. You are free. Another person, you are free. And another, you are free. All right, let's take our... All right, please be seated. You guys are on fire today. So, my friends, without taking action, we are just spectators, hoping and wondering if possibly some good will come along. Our action will be far more effective if we understand what needs to happen and what we are really seeking to create. The old saying that if you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail can be kept in mind. If we truly committed to creating a world that works for all, we will be called outside of our comfort zone. We will be called to use methods that we may not be familiar with, We've got to try things differently. And as we face these circumstances in our lives, as we begin to feel like we might be falling off of our balance or falling off of our center, Amama Ua Noa. Amama Ua Noa. Say that. Amama Ua Noa. Once again, Amama Ua Noa. Yeah. We can say that and stand in the truth. And we've got to be patient. We've got to be patient with ourselves. We've got to be patient with our loved ones. Patient like if we were teachers in a school, If we were working with kids, we would be patient, wouldn't we? One would hope. We would find ways to support the learning of the slowest children in the group, wouldn't we? So we must compassionately support that learning within ourselves and all of us. So that allows us to find ways that may not be our way to reach people who are also struggling. We meet people where they are. We meet ourselves where we are. And so the questions to ask yourself this week are, number one, how am I creating my own suffering on a moment-to-moment basis? Now, in order to get that, you've got to have hyper-awareness. How am I creating my own suffering? Number two, what am I saying or what can I say to myself to return to the truth that I know myself to be? I just gave you one. What is it? What? What? You got it. Amama Ua Noa. And number 3, what spiritual practices support my remembering the truth more deeply? Susan's going to send out the principles for you so you have that close to your heart. Now, I love what Ernest Holmes said. A practitioner of this science should not be confused over any given form, but should know that any form which is not of the original harmony is subject to change. On that note, I'm going to invite Travis to come up and help us prepare. While he's doing so, we'll prepare to get into our prayer pose. So do whatever you need to do to get comfortable. Scratch your nose, stretch your arms. Move your toes. And close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. And if that's not comfortable for you, you can leave your eyes open and rest your gaze a few feet in front of you. And join me in turning our attention inward. Returning to that beautiful space within, which is the space where I know and remember with every fiber of my being that spirit is all that there is. It is all that there ever was, and it is all that there ever will be. And I'm so grateful in this moment to know that I am standing on Shiva right now, and that we can imagine this whole entire flooring of this pavilion on the lake is Shiva. We're sitting on Shiva, standing on Shiva. We are anchored in the truth, in other words, anchored in the presence of love, anchored in the divine, and knowing who we are. And I'm so grateful to know that this is true for us, because as we go forward from here into the rest of our week, we are new. We are like brand new beings of light and love, and we have come here to shine. And yes, sometimes we might trip, but we get up, dust ourselves off, and keep going, standing in that truth, because we know who we are, and we know who we came here to be. And there is absolutely no circumstance, no condition, no experience that would have us forget that, because I am claiming that for us in this moment now. We do not forget. In every moment, we remember who we are. And if we notice ourselves feeling a little wobbly, we remember the words, Amama Ua Noa. Amama Ua Noa. And that taboo is lifted, and that's the taboo of forgetting just for a moment who we are. Amama Ua Noa. Amama Ua Noa. I am spirit in form. Amama Ua Noa. I know who I am, and I know who I came here to be, and I am love. Amama Ua Noa. This life is good. Amama Ua Noa. Life is happening for me. There is nothing against me. Amama Ua Noa. Amama Ua Noa. Whatever it is for you, it is all truth and all good, and I am so grateful. I'm grateful for this day. I'm grateful for the experience that has occurred. I'm grateful for the shift in consciousness. I can feel it. Something happened here today with the music and the message and the prayer. Oh, and it is good. And so I know that Spirit continues to take that, and it's like a spiral, an energetic spiral that is just spinning. And as we go forward from here, that energy is calling in a greater frequency, and we're standing in that and shining that out to all. Wow. Woo, this is good stuff. Thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. I know this is true. I know there's nothing left for me to say to have this prayer be more complete than it already is, but to simply give thanks and allow it to be. So I take my hands off of it and release it, knowing it is made manifest, and it is good. And so it is. So it is. Yes. All right. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, honey. All right. Jamie Lula.
keep playing so we have something to remember that talk. Really lovely. My handsome brother with a head full of hair. Bastard. Hold on. Mama, ooh, I know. 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 Sing it with me. Oh, mama, ooh, I know. I hope we're recording this. Oh, mama, ooh, I know. Oh, mama, ooh, I know. Oh, mama, ooh, I know. Sing it with me. Oh, mama, ooh, I know. 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 Find a harmony. Mama, ooh, I know. Oh, 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 mama, ooh, I know. Mama, ooh, I know. One more time. Oh, mama, ooh, I know. Here we go. Oh, mama, ooh, I know. So it is.